friends, pull up a camp chair. Let's have a chat. We currently have camp chairs for living room furniture. I always do that when we move. I end up like selling our furniture because I don't want to like store it, move it. So I sell it and then remember, oh, it takes a while for me to decide what furniture to buy, and it takes a while for furniture to get here once I've made that decision. So we're still waiting on my decisions and for some furniture to arrive. So camp chairs it is, super cozy. The kids actually love it, so it works. Anyway, let's chat for a minute, and then I have some things I want to share with you today. So I just wanted to apologize. I know you don't need my apology, but my content has been a little sporadic, not very consistent, and I don't think anyone's out there really waiting for my stuff to come out, but I like consistency. It's good for my brain, it's good for the algorithms, and I haven't had that lately. Honestly, I just, remodeling a home takes a lot out of you, and it's hard to be consistent at anything. So I do have that excuse, which I think is valid. But also, if this can validate you at all, it's February, and I don't know about you, but I'm in a bit of a creativity rut, I think. Or perhaps like the amount of decisions I've had to make for this home remodel is probably what's putting me into a bit of a creativity exhaustion state. It's probably more of what's happening, but some weeks I just can't manage to get out a blog post or a video because there's so much other stuff taking every bit of creative juice that I have in me. So there's my excuses, whether you needed to hear them or not. But I did have some ideas for today, and I just thought I'd take you around with me. Just a couple of things that I want to do, that I want to share with you. I need to make some bread, and I thought, why not share it with you? So I'm going to show you how I make my 100% whole grain sourdough bread. I love to use whole grains, and I've been playing with recipes to make sure that I can get more whole grains into my family's diet. So I'll just share with you how I'm making that as I do that and the results. And then I wanted to share with you my daughter Kate's room, the Anne of Green Gables room. We have made great progress in it. It's not completely done. I'm still waiting on like curtains, a rug. I have an antique full-size bed that I've been hanging on to for a long time that I think will look perfect in there. So I need to go get her a full-size mattress since we don't have one of those. But I still wanted to share with you how it's looking because it's super cute, and I think you'll like to see that progress. And then I wanted to make some more root beer tea. That's what we call it in my house. And I thought it'd be fun to share with you. It's a great detox tea, which is great as we're coming out of winter or maybe stuck in our houses, and it's delicious. It uses sarsaparilla root. And it's so good. We add seltzer water to it to make it like this bubbly root beer drink. It's delicious. So I thought I'd share with you how to make that. If I have time today, we need to make some more elderberry syrup because sickness is going around like crazy, and I want to avoid that. So lots of fun stuff to do today. Come along with me. We'll see what we can get done. Okay, I'm going to straighten up her bed a little bit before I show you everything, but this is the room where we put this Sandberg wallpaper, floor to ceiling. Have some really cute pink trim, pink closet doors. Super cute. I'm trying to remember how I made this bed the first time. She did a pretty good job. Anyway, she's my Anne of Green Gables loving gal, and we just wanted to create a space for her. That was just as charming. I loved someone mentioned on Instagram in one of my comments that she could just imagine the many ways Anne of Green Gables would describe this room. It's so cute. Let me know what you think about it. What you think Anne of Green Gables would have to say about it. We've got lots of ruffled things, beautiful linen, lots of color pattern. It's adorable. Okay, let's make some whole wheat sourdough artisan bread. I don't think I'm going to get too precise with you today, but I will type up a blog post with a precise recipe if you want to give out this recipe a try. Basically, I have freshly milled whole grain white hard wheat. Sorry, the proper way is to say hard white wheat. I ground it up yesterday. I think I have enough for today. And then your starter, water and salt. If you're new with sourdough bread, definitely check out the blog post, but I always find it interesting to just see how other people do it. So one thing I will say when making 100% whole wheat sourdough, don't expect the same results as when you're using white flour. White flour forms that stretchy gluten a lot better, so you get that kind of sourdough bread that is light and fluffy, has the airy holes in it. Whole wheat is different. I have seen some people share online like pictures of a recipe and claim it's whole wheat, and they have that like airy sourdough bread look. I have my suspicions that they've added white flour for those pictures, or they know something I don't know. Okay, that's probably true, but I have tried just about every recipe I could find for whole wheat sourdough bread, and it never is light and fluffy like that. In fact, I have this loaf that I made yesterday. I'll share some close-ups here, but it is more dense, it is thicker, more nutritious, it is filling, and I actually think it is so delicious. I much prefer the taste of whole wheat sourdough because it just has more depth of flavor. It's a more rustic loaf. I think it's so good. So I don't have a problem with the fact that it doesn't look like that perfect sourdough white flour loaf because it is just so much better for you. So anyway, there's my little plug for whole grains. We could probably do a whole podcast episode or a whole video all about them and how to cook with them. But hard white wheat or hard red wheat is great for the sourdough loaves because they form more of a glutinous structure. However, einkorn, whole grain einkorn is my favorite for making sourdough because the flavor is the bomb. So I'll have to share that another time. But today I'm using up the hard white wheat that I already ground. All right, I'm doing too much chatting today. Let's start cooking. So I fed my starter this morning about 5 hours ago. It's like at its peak rise, so a great time to add it right into the flour and water mixture. Okay, this has been sitting for an hour. All the flour's soaked up the water, and this is when I like to add the salt. Okay, then with my hands really wet so it doesn't stick as much, I kind of work in that salt. I don't know if I'd call this kneading, but we're gonna start to get it all incorporated before we start our stretch and folds for the next few hours. Okay, whole wheat flour is not as stretchy as white flour, so you kind of have to force it a little bit, but as it sits and the more you stretch it, the more pliable it becomes. And if you didn't get that salt all the way worked in as you're stretching and folding this for the next few hours, it will really get incorporated very well. So then I'm going to cover that for 15 minutes, come back, do more stretch and folds. I'm down here in our yellow food storage room, which I haven't shared with you yet because I have a couple of projects I still want to do, but it's really cute coming together. So nice to have some organized storage in the home. But this is where I have like all my herbs. It's my little apothecary, if you will. And I'm gonna whip up this root beer tea. So delicious and so good for you to help you detoxify, cleanse, support your liver, but mostly just delicious. This is a recipe I picked up from Rosemary Gladstar. If you are into herbalism, I'm sure you've heard of her name. She has one of my favorite herbalism books, and this is where I found this recipe. So I will link you to the book and the recipe below in the description if you want to make something as well. You probably want help finding the herbs that I'm using too. They're kind of uncommon. I doubt you have some of these in your home, but they're worth getting because they're so good for you. So we've got burdock, dandelion root. Anyway, let's just put together and then we'll talk about those herbs. Okay, we're gonna work in parts rather than cups. So we're gonna do 1 part burdock root. I get this from Mountain Rose Herbs. Most of my herbs are from them. I think they're a great company. But let's see how much. I think I'll have a 1/2 cup. And I'm just gonna mix all these herbs together and then keep them in a jar so I can make this up really fast. So that's 1/2 cup of burdock root. And then we'll do 1 part, or our 1 part is a 1/2 cup. So I'll do another 1/2 cup of cinnamon chips. And then this is kind of what gives it the root beer flavor. We got Indian sarsaparilla root, basically what they make root beer out of in one sense. But 1 part of that. Oh, it smells so delicious. Definitely like root beer. And then we're going to do 1/2 part of dandelion root. So I have 1/4 of a cup here. I need to refill some of my jars. It's always best to store these in glass jars if you're doing long term. And then we're going to do 1/4 of a part of ginger root, which gives it a really yummy flavor. It's a little overpowering, so that's why the 1/4 of a part is great. So I'm just doing basically 1/8 of a cup. Then I have stevia leaf. This is a really good way to naturally sweeten it. When you're using like actual plant matter stevia, I find that there's not the weird aftertaste. And I'm just going to do another 1/4 of a part of that. A little bit really goes a long way. So that's what I use to sweeten it, though you can use anything else like pure maple syrup, sugar, whatever your family likes. So now we just kind of stir them up. We'll shake it once it's in the jar too, but I can't remember if I already mentioned to you. This particular blend is really great for supporting acne and eczema. So the book has a whole protocol for taking this and a treatment plan so it can help with acne and eczema, which is really cool. Basically because it's supporting the liver and the detoxification process. So good stuff. Now let me show you how I make a decoction with this and then how we drink it. Okay, we're gonna add about 2 quarts of water. For every quart of water, you're going to do about 4 to 6 tablespoons of your herb mix. And this is for a decoction, which means they're roots and they take longer to simmer and kind of break down the flavor. Like a dried leaf or other leafy plant, you just kind of steep the plant material, but roots are a little different, so they work with decoctions. Okay, so I'm gonna add 12 tablespoons of the herbs and then let this simmer for about 30 minutes. Then I will let it sit overnight to get even more potent. That's what I like to do. So this is what I have left over from our last batch, hence the reason I'm making more. But it's got this lovely root beer color. So I like to just fill a glass halfway with the tea. And then you get, if you want to make it bubbly, you can get any kind of seltzer water, carbonated water, whatever you have, and then top it off.
Wish that I could stay in this moment forever, so I can hold you in my arms. I will carry you on my shoulders as long as I'm awake. Scare the monsters under your